Okay, so welcome to Otsu City in Shiga Prefecture, and we are having lunch here in this really cozy Japanese restaurant. And this restaurant is famous for soba noodles. And soba is buckwheat noodles. And you can see that they make it here by hand. So they have all the materials. So this is a special kind of knife that they have for cutting the noodles. And then they put it on this board and they flatten it out with these rollers that you can see back here on the wall. So anyway, these are the machines that they use. And so all the soba that you eat here, the noodles, are handmade. And so everything is really high quality here, very fresh. So here you can see the restaurant. And we got a lunch set, and so this is Maiko's lunch. And so here we have tempura, which is kind of fried, I guess. But you can see there's shrimp and other vegetables. For example, eggplant and green.
Here is a mushroom.
Mushrooms. Yeah. And so it comes with this salt that you can use with the tempura. And then over here, this is the specialty. These are the handmade soba noodles that they made here in this restaurant. And so here, the white on the left is the radish, or daikon in Japanese. We have the bonito fish flakes right here. And what's this, a little wakame maybe, or seaweed? Shiso. Okay, and this is the plum, the ume here, and then the noodles themselves. So this is hot noodles. So of course it comes with chopsticks and a little spoon, or a renge maybe in Japanese. And so yeah, and then this is mine. Mine is basically the same with the tempura, the salt. And then this is the green onions, the negi in Japanese. I can use this on my noodles, on my soba noodles, and mine are hot as well. So mine does not have the plum blossom because I'm not a big fan of that. So anyway, and then it comes with some tea. They give you some nice hot tea, and this is it. So the presentation of the food is also really important. You can see the ceramics that they use, the color, the design, the way it's laid out, the colors, the balance. Everything is handmade. So really high quality food, and we're about to enjoy our lunch. So anyway, we'll see you later. Bye. Okay, so this is the restaurant where we just ate lunch, and it was very, very delicious. And it was soba, as I said, which is the same in English, soba. But if you really, really want to translate everything, it would be buckwheat noodles, which is a really traditional type of noodles in Japan. And here you can see it says teuchi soba, which would be handmade. And as I showed you previously, they make all the noodles by hand in that little area that I showed you. This place was really delicious, and so the name of it would be Sumikura. And yeah, it's really, really good. And so another thing that they had here, we didn't get it, but they have really high quality Japanese sake. And they had a set menu where you could kind of sample 3 different types of local sake from here in Shiga Prefecture that is only in February or early March at this time of the year. And then that was combined with 3 different types of foods that matched perfectly with that type of sake. So that would have been something really nice to have. But anyway, so we had a really good lunch here. And so we are here in Otsu City in Shiga Prefecture. And we're going to visit Ishiyama Temple. It's a Buddhist temple. And this is kind of a touristy area with a lot of restaurants here at the base of the mountain. And so we're going to go inside. They're having a plum blossom festival. They have 3 different plum blossom gardens. And then it's also famous for Bombay, which is bonsai with the plum blossoms. And so they got 2 different areas where you can see the, like this. Yeah, so anyway, we're going to enter the temple in just a few minutes. And we're going to visit the plum groves and maybe see some bonsai with the plum blossoms. So anyway, when we get there, we'll look around. See you later. Okay, so here we are at Ishiyama Temple. This is a Buddhist temple. And here you can see, I'll give you a little bit more information later, but this is a famous place for pilgrims to come and to rest, to stay the night. So anyway, this is the main temple here. And there's a lot of history here that I'll tell you later once we get inside. But this area is Shiga Prefecture. And the old name of this area is Omi. And just like Hitakata has the Hitakata Hake, the 8 scenic spots, so does Omi, this area in Shiga Prefecture. And this is one of the Hake, one of the 8 scenic spots of Shiga Prefecture. And so anyway, we're going to go in the temple right now. You can see the barrier here. And we're going to head inside. And we'll continue later on. See you. Okay, so we are at Ishiyama Dera, or temple, in Otsu city in Shiga Prefecture. And they are currently having a plum blossom festival. And they actually have 3 different plum blossom groves, and this is number 1. So according to the website, which hasn't been updated in about 5 days, they said it was about 50%. So I think that's about right. It looks about like 50%. So Shiga Prefecture is north of Kyoto. So there's Osaka, Kyoto, and then north of that is Shiga. And it's always a little cooler up here. The weather is a little chillier. So this would be later than what you would see down in Osaka. But this was rated in, this temple was rated in the top 10 spots in the Kyoto, Osaka area for plum blossom viewing. So in total, there are more than 400 trees and 40 different types. And so we can see some of these early bloomers with the different colors. Here, so yeah, so the trunks are covered in moss. It's really pretty. So just a really quick walk because it's just a little bit in bloom, but still pretty.
Really?
Yeah, the shapes of the trees, it looks very fragile, even though it's not. Okay, so now we're going to walk down to a kind of a main open area and kind of talk about the meaning of this temple, which is actually a pretty famous temple here in the Kansai area. It's not so famous with international tourists, and you probably won't see this on any travel websites or travel guides. But local Kansai people definitely know this. And actually, as I said, they're having a festival right now, a plum blossom festival. And as you saw with Maiko's lunch, she had a plum in her soba noodles. But anyway, there are lots of places here just outside the temple to enjoy plum flavored drinks and food. So this temple here is connected to Shingon Buddhism. And this is a kind of mountain worship. And it goes back to Kukai, who introduced Buddhism to Japan. And so this temple was built in the year 747. So extremely old temple. And what I can see here, there's a mixture of Shinto and Buddhism. So here, for example, this tree here has the rope and the blessing from Shinto here. But then obviously you can see, for example, this is the sign of Buddhism. And of course the Buddha statues. And so this temple, it has many national treasures. And one of the national treasures is right up there. That's the main, that's not the main, but one of the big buildings here. That's a national treasure. And then also this building here is a national treasure as well. But here you can see they've got a lot of the Bonsai, the Bonsai plum blossoms out. And they're everywhere. And they're really pretty. So there's another city north of here. It's really famous for bonsai. It's called Nagahama. Yeah. Here. So this is actually a bonsai tree. So these stones. These stones are also a national treasure. And Ishiyama in English would translate to stony mountain. So the name of this temple actually comes from these stones. And there it is, the big building at the top. And here it's a display of bonsai, the bonsai plum blossoms. So very pretty. Different colors. And then yeah, up here there's a torii gate, which is obviously Shinto. So we can see a combination of Shinto and Buddhist designs here at Ishiyama Temple. So anyway, as you can see here, this building is a national treasure. So yeah. So let's see. One more thing I want to mention is this temple is a part of the Kansai Kannon pilgrimage. And so people actually they travel by foot from one temple to the next. And here in the Kansai area, it's a 33 temple pilgrimage. They go from number 1 to number 2. And actually, this is number 13 out of 33. Okay, so now we're about to enter the Hondo, the main temple area. Maybe no photography.
I don't know.
Okay, so it says no photography, so we'll see you later. Okay, so we just came out of the main hall, and it was super nice, right?
Yeah.
Had a really, really kind of sacred atmosphere. It was really, really nice. Yeah, unfortunately I can't film inside, which I totally understand why. So anyway, I want to show you this this here. And this lady here that you see is Murasaki Shikibu. Yeah, Murasaki Shikibu. And she is the author of The Tale of the Genji. And The Tale of the Genji is a really, really important piece of literature in Japanese history. And so she began writing The Tale of the Genji right here in this room in August in the year 1004. And so The Tale of the Genji is a super important piece of literature in Japanese history. And today it is considered to be the oldest novel in the world. It is the oldest novel, the first novel ever written. So extremely, extremely long history. More than 1,000 years ago, she started writing the first novel right there in that room. So you think of all the literature that you've read in your life, it kind of may have been inspired by that. So anyway, and I believe you can see The Tale of the Genji in a museum in Nagoya. I can't remember the name of the museum, but yeah, and there's a lot of history connected to Uji, the city of Uji, with The Tale of the Genji. So anyway, it's a really important place here for Japanese people. A lot of history and importance along this pilgrimage trail throughout the Kansai area. Okay, so we're gonna go up to the main, not the main, but the big building at the top. So we'll see you soon. Okay, so we have come up a little bit more, and this is the view looking down over the temple grounds. These are the stones that we saw earlier, and just different smaller temples in all directions. And so here it is. This is the building at the top. This is called Tahoto, and it is a national treasure. It's a two-storied pagoda, and it was built in the year 1194, and it is considered to be the oldest and most elegant pagoda in Japan. So that's a really big statement. So let's go up and check it out. Is it really the most elegant? So here we can see a Japan heritage flag. And it's for the 33, the pilgrimage of the 33 temples on this pilgrimage here in the Kansai area. There it is. What do you think?
Nice.
Is it the most elegant?
The shape.
Yeah, it's nice. I don't know, might be number 2. Number 1's a little high. But yeah, it's super nice. And I guess we could say it is the oldest. And again, this is a national treasure. So I'm not sure, but it looks like there might be a view over there. What can we see? So here you can see definitely Shinto. It's all mixed. It's not the best, but yeah, there's a view of kind of the city in the distance. Again, this is Otsu city in Shiga prefecture. It's the capital and largest city of Shiga prefecture, so it's really close to Kyoto city. I think it's on the border with Kyoto prefecture. So anyway, yeah, we're gonna go up to the second plum blossom grove. So I'll see you in a minute. Okay, so here we are at the second plum grove. So there are 3 plum groves, and we are entering the second one. We're getting into the late afternoon now. It's about 3:45. So the light is coming in really nice. Yeah, the sun is coming right into our face. It's nice. It's peaceful. Yeah, I've been here in the Kansai area 5 years and never came here. Maiko's been here her whole life. She's never been here. So yeah, the plum blossoms really give us an opportunity to explore and see beautiful places that are close to home that we would never visit otherwise. Okay. Yeah, I'd say 50%, maybe less, I don't know. So it looks like this is the end. So yeah, not bad. Again, Shiga Prefecture is cooler than Kyoto, and definitely cooler than Osaka. Yeah. Okay, so that's just a look around Plum Grove number 2. I think we got one more to go, and then there's also one more place for the Bonsai, maybe.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So anyway, so let's go there. We'll see you soon. Okay, so we walked a little bit more around the back, and there are many, many gardens back here. And here we are. This is Plum Grove number 3, and it looks much more in bloom back here. And as you can see, it gets the afternoon sun, so it looks much more in bloom here. So let's go up and take a look around. But yeah, looks much more colorful. It's a nice area. Yeah, that looks like full bloom. That one in the back looks like full bloom.
Wow, pretty.
Yeah, it's really pretty. The weather's really nice now. I just checked a few minutes ago. It's 47 degrees here, Fahrenheit. So it's almost, I think, exactly the same as earlier in Katano. So anyway, a really beautiful area, and you can see really tall mountains in the distance there. So Shiga Prefecture is a really beautiful prefecture. It's not very urbanized. Once you get past Otsu, the further north you go, past Kusatsu and up further north near Hikone, Omihachiman, and Nagahama, it's really kind of rural. And it's most famous for Lake Biwa, which is the largest lake in Japan. So there are a lot of water sports activities, a lot of camping, glamping, different activities that are connected to the lake. So they call it Mother Lake, actually, yeah. So largest lake in Japan. And it takes up almost 20%. It takes almost 20% of Shiga Prefecture. So when people hear Shiga Prefecture, that's usually the number one thing they think about is Lake Biwa. And what is it? Ibuski? That mountain on the border with Gifu. We climbed it. Anyway, there are some really tall mountains here. There's Biwako Valley, which is really beautiful. You can get excellent views of the lake from the top of the mountain. You can actually take a cruise on the lake. And actually my logo, the banner of my YouTube channel, has a picture. And that is Lake Biwa. And that is Shirahige Shrine with the torii gate standing inside Lake Biwa. So anyway, this is all here in the Kansai area, not very far from Kyoto. So it's very accessible, easy to get around by public transportation once things get back to normal. Of course, we're traveling by car, so this is how we're getting around, just to be safe. But Mount Ibuki, that's it, Mount Ibuki. And it's on the border of Gifu Prefecture. It's really, really beautiful. We were there in the fall to see the fall colors change. And you can drive all the way up to the top and then kind of hike the last 1 hour or so. And it's in the top 100 most beautiful mountains in Japan. So anyway, that's just kind of a look around here. This is where we are on this beautiful Saturday afternoon, enjoying the plum blossoms, learning a little bit about the history and culture of Japan. So anyway, we'll see you later. Bye. Okay, so we made the round around the whole temple complex and we're back to where we began. And so this is actually one of the places where you can enjoy the bonbai, the bonsai plum blossoms here. So they got a few out here on display. And of course, this is where you come to purify your hands. You're supposed to do this before you go into the temple. But anyway, yeah, here's some more bonsai. And then over here, there's a little pond with some really, really big fish. These are huge. Look at that. These fish are huge. Wow. Yeah, of course they're wanting food. We don't have any food here. So. Yeah, they're really huge. Okay, so we're going to take a walk. We're going to leave the temple and give you our farewell message. I got a few more of these bonsai plum blossom trees. This one's really nice. Wow. So yeah, lots of bonsai trees with plum blossoms. So anyway, as I mentioned earlier, this is a pilgrimage trail of 33 temples in the Kansai area. And yeah, in Shikoku, that's the most famous pilgrimage trail, and there are 88 temples. And usually they go by foot, and they usually wear a white robe with like a straw hat, a straw conical hat, and they have a walking cane to help them. And so anyway, you can kind of see that same thing here in Kansai as they go from one temple to the next. And again, this is number 13 out of 33. And but here in Kansai, it's not as strict, so people will take a car or a train from one to the next. But as they go from number 1 to number 2, a lot of people will get like a scroll, and it folds out, and then they'll get it actually written, kind of like an official stamp, approving, or not approving, but certifying that they visited there. And so you can go around to every temple and get a stamp, and then they write it in calligraphy as well, and it's really nice. So when we were in the main temple, in the main building, we could actually see that. Of course, there was no filming in there, but we could see that. And then also they wear a white robe, and we haven't seen anybody today wearing a white robe.
Different robe.
Yeah. But anyway, they also do that same thing. They put the stamp and the calligraphy on that white robe. And so, and actually I read about this earlier today. But yeah, so actually they will visit all 33 temples and get the stamps or the calligraphy signs. And then when they're cremated, they actually wear that white robe when they're cremated. So it's a really important element for them in their pilgrimage. And again, this is Shingon Buddhism, which is kind of like mountain worship, or it's really strongly connected to mountains. So of course this temple is on a mountain here. So anyway, as you can see, we are back to where we started. This is the main entrance, and the sun is super bright. But yeah, here we are at the main entrance, and again, here we are. Lots of national treasures here. You can see this says number 13. This is temple number 13, and this right here, Ishiyama Temple. So anyway, we're gonna end our tour here. And so, Michael, do you have any words, any message?
Okay. I enjoyed a lot today too. I saw beautiful scenery, and we went to the sacred place. And I felt really refreshed from there. Yeah, it's really good for that.
Yeah, it's very refreshing. Yeah? Anything in Japanese?
Okay. すごい大変な時期ですけど、皆さん春の訪れを楽しみましょう。
Yeah, exactly. It's not the easiest time to get out and about, but spring is coming, and we just found out that the state of emergency is going to be lifted here in the Kansai area starting March 1st. We will no longer be in a state of emergency. So vaccines are coming, the weather's getting better, we can kind of see the light at the end of the tunnel. So there's a lot of reason to be optimistic for the future. So anyway, today we went to Katano City. We saw the botanical gardens of Osaka City University. And then we came here to Shiga Prefecture in Otsu and saw Ishiyama Temple. And both were amazing. We saw a lot of history, nature, national treasures, and lots of plum blossoms as well. So, and we saw some cherry blossoms as well. And so that's another sign that spring is coming, and the cherry blossoms will be here before we know it. So anyway, thank you for watching the video today. We hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.